I'm so Jersey. I'm north to south with it. Get love in every city, every block I visit. But this shit get real if the scales off a digit. Told Tresh and told Vinny I get naughty with the semi. In the back of the re-up spot, burning and sticky. Triple fat goose conceals the Glock. I'm so biggie. The Garden State Parkway mover. Turnpike recruiter. Shake the feds with easy pass maneuvers. I might start off in Patterson, them young boys packing. Then I bounce down to Newark. Pick up some of that new work. Stop in Jersey City and bag up the new Whitney. Move it out to Trenton. I heard there's money in Princeton. Slide through the Camden to pick up a few cannons. Pulling up in Bridgeton, them goons keep their clips in. Shoot the Pleasantville, the North and South State Trail. Then I land in AC, you know it's real. I put on for the whole map, but South Jersey's back. You don't know me, tell 50, let me hold that strap. I give them 16 rounds for every bar they lack. Cause I'm so Jersey.
Today, not tomorrow, not the next day. We want to make sure you get your roses before you leave high school, and we're doing it the best way that we know how. It took a lot to put this together. I just appreciate working with Rick and Richland Rakes and Johnny Martin, all these guys that took to put this project together. It was a collective thing that took a lot of energy, and it wouldn't have worked if us four wasn't doing it and y'all out there wasn't performing on the field. So we really appreciate you, and let's get it going.
That's it. At the end of the day, we wanted to make sure that this was for the kids. So it may be a little different for the adults, but I hope you guys just sit back and enjoy it and, you know, have a good time, man.
Yeah, understand what we're trying to do. This is not your traditional award show where, you know, you got a couple guys sitting up here with some headphones and all that kind of stuff. We don't want to do that type of ceremony. You know, we are reaching out to the youth, and the youth, they doing something different. It's a different wave.
Right. So without further ado, once again, this is From the Stands Podcast. I'm Rick, Khalid, We usually have Richard Rakes and Johnny Martin. These are just our opinions from the stands.
That's right.
That's
So
what
don't-
makes it different.
Don't never take it personal. You know, if anybody has ever watched the show online, we do get a little crazy, we do get a little wild, but at the end of the day, we always do bring it back home to what it's really about, and it's about the children getting their just due. You know, how many times have we seen children playing football, the athletes playing football, and they don't get their roses like they supposed to? You know what I mean? Or from a lot of parents will be like, oh, put my son in the game, or, you know, this and this and this and that, you know, yelling from the sideline or whatever. So we felt as though, let's go about it a different way, you know, and praise the children. You know what I mean?
All right, without further ado, we're going to get this thing started, man. We had about 20 to 25 kids that originally were a part of the invite. Some had basketball, some will be showing up a little bit later. Our first award, we're going to get right to it so we can get him up here. I know he has somewhere to go, and I appreciate Jada Byers. We're going to bring Jada Byers to the stage. We appreciate Jada Byers for taking the time to come out and be a part of this. You come this way, Jada.
Come this way, Jada.
You know. We appreciate Jada. If you don't know, Jada Byers is a young man that broke the state record for scoring. So he is the, you can put that on the table or put it on whatever. If you can hear me, you cool. He is the New Jersey state record holder for touchdowns. Young man also had 10 touchdowns in one game. So crazy. Whoever was on the field, we want to make sure that they get a couple buckshots real quick. Whoever they were on the field, they get lit up.
Oh, man, let the Uzi off. Let the Uzi off.
So, Jada, we appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Jada's St. Joe's, Hamilton. Let him know that he's getting ready to go to Sacred Heart University. Just let the people know what you were setting out to do this season, with the season where it started this year.
Where it just started this year, just off-season workouts and stuff that I had with AP and stuff like that, and then coming to school with Coach Sacco every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We always had weight room from like 10 to 12 or 8:45 in the morning, and then the first game when we played Rutgers, when we played against Johnny Martin and them at Highland, it just started from there.
Highland, get a couple buck shots real quick.
Yeah, because the way you ran across that field was crazy.
That was ugly.
We was driving on the way back from Ohio, and I'm like, yo, he is going to kill him. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, yo, look at this.
I was fighting him. You know, I coached Johnny. I kind of believed that he could will them to a win, but I forgot about the other 10 guys on the field that you was playing against. They wasn't up to par at the time.
Yeah, my team, we just came out with energy. We was ready to play since before we found out we was playing them.
Oh, that was crazy. The zigzag, I got it on my phone. You were driving, Khalid was driving. I got it on my phone. I'm holding it up.
We pulled over to the trash, and I said, nah, hold up, pull over. Look at this play right here. Look at this play right here, what he just did. You know what I'm saying?
So it was at that moment on that ride from Ohio back home where all of this stuff started to come to shape, because people don't recognize what you guys really do. They give you awards, but they don't give you a platform where you can come out and really speak and call in. And Jada was our first player that we had call into the show and was a part of the first podcast. So I'm going to ask you, I know I asked you off camera, but when we played the Tecmo Bowl, if you don't know what Tecmo Bowl is, it's an old school video game where in Tecmo Bowl, if you picked the Raiders and had Bo Jackson, he was unstoppable. There was nobody that was stopping Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl. So we coined Tecmo Bowl as the Jada Byers game. When he was running up and down the field.
But hold up, he was playing us, though. He was playing Timber Creek.
Timber Creek get a couple. Oh, man, Jesus Christ.
He put 5 touchdowns up on us. It was crazy. It was crazy.
I almost blew a gasket.
No, but you know what? Hold up. I didn't even mean to cut you off. But you know my favorite part of that game was? When him and Tarheed matched up against each other, and Jada looks over at our coach. He goes just like this. He like, and then drove Tarheeb out of bounds. Not that Tarheeb is a bad player, because Tarheeb, he's our stud on our team. You know what I'm saying? Jada turned around, looked at our coach, and went like, I said, man, this boy got, yo, I wish that was my son at that time. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, that's what you want right there. You know what I'm saying? They was battling though. They was battling.
And that's what you appreciate about some of these players. If you guys and a lot of times with parents, you don't get a chance to go out and actually see some of the players because those Saturdays or Friday nights you're at your own kid's game like we're supposed to. But we got a chance to see it firsthand, so we wanted to say thank you for taking the time to come out, giving us the respect. You are a big name, so when people heard that you were coming, I'm sure that kind of trickled down. We respect everything that you've done throughout your career. Much success that will follow you once you go up to off to college. So while you're here, man, we want to say thank you, though.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. And look, I don't know if y'all know this kid. Hold. Did she get you a ring?
Did you get your? You
Oh,
got it.
hold. We gotta put that. You gotta show that ring out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, show that hardware. You know what I mean?
You get a picture with the ring? All right, Jada. So Jada's he hit me up, man, and I didn't think he was coming. So what he said was, he sent me a text back and he said, "Look, I'm coming. I got a basketball game, but I'm coming."
That's what's up.
He said, "This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I like what you guys are doing. I'll be there. Just do me a favor and let me get mine first."
Oh, all right, yeah. With
So-
the type of season that he was having,
Yeah,
absolutely,
so-
you can get that.
So Jada Byers was our outstanding player of the year. Our awards are a little bit different. So you guys may be thinking MVP, stuff like that. We have some of those, but it's not exactly the same, all right?
Yeah, it's not like that at all.
So we just going to keep it moving. But next person, who you want to talk? Who want to go?
Man, they all deserve it. I don't care. It don't matter. You know what I mean? They all great.
All right, so who did I see here, man? I'm making sure I'm going down the list and get who I see here. Let's go with the big fella.
Absolutely.
All right, Isiah Rakes. We want to bring you to the stage, big fella, Isiah Rakes from St. Augustine Prep. He's on his way to Texas A&M in a matter of days. So he's an early enrollee.
Ah, darn, boy.
We're going to have to move. What's up?
What's going on?
What's up, big fella? Need a bigger stage up here for this dude, man. His back wide.
Yo.
I walked up here.
So Isaiah's dad is one of the other hosts that's normally here. He got stuck at work. But Texas A&M, man.
Yeah.
It seems like a dream. I'll tell you guys a quick story. Like, Isiah played in Battle of the Bridge, 8th grade. I remember talking to Isiah, kind of having those conversations. Isiah did play running back this year for St. Augustine Prep as well this year. So if any of you parents out there know you got a 300 and he what are you, 320?
Yeah, 325.
Nah, you lying. He about 345. Yeah. So a 300-pound running back running at you, you can imagine what that is. So a lot of kids were jumping on the ground, diving. But when he came in the 8th grade, he was a running back, defensive end, and I went to him and asked him to play guard. And if you know what that is for a running back to play guard, they looking at you like you crazy. But Isiah said, "Coach, I'll do whatever. I just want to play." So at that moment, I knew he was a special guy, man, and we appreciate you as well. You, your father, your family, great folks. What you did this season was remarkable.
Absolutely.
We came to the games. You know, I couldn't let your dad just talk reckless about Texas, about St. Aug. So I had to go against him at times. But this season, man, what was one of the things that you wanted to accomplish coming into the season before the season started?
Before the season started, I wanted to beat Williamstown, to be honest.
Oh, we got some Williamstown people in the house, too. There they go, right there in the
You
back.
know? Oh.
What up, Williamstown? You got some Braves back there.
What's going on, Coach? Glad to see you. That was your first one.
Yeah.
You accomplished that. What was next on the list?
I did want to win a chip, but I mean, we fell short early.
But even in you guys falling short, you guys put up an amazing fight. You guys went toe-to-toe and were actually a player or two away from actually beating the team that eventually won the state championship.
Right.
So watching them win the championship, I know that fueled like some type of.
It was annoying. Should have won.
All right.
Yo, man, I've been watching him since 6th grade. Kid's amazing.
So once again, this is Isiah Rakes. We had him on the podcast as well. You guys can go back and see that one. So our questions may be a little short, but with Isiah, but we want to congratulate you. We appreciate everything that you did this season, your work ethic, everything that you put on from social media that the kids get to see. I think that's an amazing thing. A lot of kids don't understand how much hard work it takes to actually make it to the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they think they just can roll out of bed. So when they see you here and when they see you live in person, my wife, every time she sees you, she says, I think he got bigger. So I know you're putting the work in the weight room and doing the right thing. So I want to say congratulations on your high school career. I want to say best of luck on your way to Texas A&M. And if your dad get too crazy, you can call me. I'll check him. All right. You know what I mean?
Might need that.
Might need it. But I want to thank you, Isiah. Anything, Khalid?
Man, listen, I said what I needed to say to him last time on the show. I mean, I'll just go into it real brief. Like I said, I've been watching you since 6th grade. You come from a good family. You're very a humble and respectable young man, and those type of characteristics will take you so much farther in life. You know what I mean? It's not just about football, because one day you will not be playing football, and if you keep the same type of mentality that you have, it will definitely drive you so much further. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you, bro. For real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you, Isiah. All right, man. I was waiting on some other kids to get here, but we just going to keep it moving. We want to go to the fastest man on the planet, I think.
Who's that? Tell me his name.
Who else in South Jersey is the fastest man in the
They
planet?
said that boy was running like a 4.3 or something like that, man.
All right, next person we're going to bring up is Mr. Xavier Coleman, X.
X Factor.
The X Factor. This is probably the slowest he's going to move, so I just want y'all to realize that. Any coaches play against this kid, man, they know what a nightmare he is. You got some Williamstown guys back there, so I'm sure they had the game plan against you twice.
Yeah. Yes,
I'm sure the safety was told, do not come any closer than 15 to 20 yards when he lines up on your side. Xavier Coleman is one of our game-changer athletes that we watched this season. He's one of the players that at the blink of an eye can change the game. Xavier, kick returns, punt returns, wildcat, receiver, running back, you name it. He played those positions for his team offensively this year. I'm trying to give him we're trying to give him his flowers while he's here. A lot of times, people like to hate on the kid. They'll say the kid is good, but in the back of their mind, they'll be like, man, he ain't really that good.
Yeah.
He's really that good. So he has Division I offers from Washington State, West Virginia, Rutgers, Maryland. Did Maryland offer? They sleeping. Baylor, Rutgers. I say Rutgers, right? I keep saying Rutgers because your dad keeps saying Rutgers to me. That's in my head. So, X, this season, coming in, what was one of the things that you wanted to accomplish this season?
Just giving my team, not only my team, but myself a name in South Jersey, I felt like I was overlooked my first 2 years, coming out of 8th grade, I was kind of a big name. Everybody was like, we're X his first 2 years, but I feel like I definitely had to come out here and show everybody that I still had it, and then just show that my team had it. Lenape was off the map kind of last year after we won the state championship, and I just felt like we had to bring our name back.
Okay.
I got another question.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, run it.
Coming out of 8th, first of all, who was your favorite All-Star coach?
You, of course.
Oh, yeah. That's
So
what I wanted
you just
to
was
get
connected to everybody, huh?
That's what I wanted. Okay. Nah, but you said in what you just were saying that you wanted to bring it back. You wanted to bring Lenape back. You wanted to tell people that you were there. Some kids go straight to high school and they play automatically.
Right.
The team, when you came in, you were similar to some other guys that are here that when they came in, they were coming into a senior dominant team in Lenape, a state championship team. So just talk about how humbling it was for you to have to go from being the man in 8th grade to coming in freshman, sophomore year, kind of trying to feel your way out and trying to figure out where you actually fit in the scheme of things.
Oh, it was definitely humbling, you know, coming in, like everybody knew me and everybody felt like I had to make an impact as soon as I got there, but the speed is definitely different. It takes a while to get used to it, and I feel like being on that team, I learned a lot, and it helped me definitely in my second 2 years. That just helped me elevate my game to get to a point where I can make an impact in South Jersey because they had made an impact at their team.
Right.
That's crazy. I like it, man. Listen, I'm just excited to be here, bro. You can keep asking as many questions as you want, man.
That's why I keep looking at
I'm
you.
just, no, you ain't got no. You just keep going, bro. I'm just sitting here listening. In my mind, there's so many different things going on about all the young guys so far that's just coming up. I don't think a lot of times people who don't play the sport realize what it takes every day. Like these kids, these young men. Let me be clear. These young men, they getting up every day early. 5:30, 6 o'clock, going to school, coming from school, going to practice, then going to another practice just to be great, you know what I'm saying? Taking good instructions, taking good advice from their parents. They got parents who sacrifice, and there's so much that goes in to this. You know what I mean? I can speak on that, and all of you parents out there can speak on to it, or what it takes to get your child to a certain level, you know what I mean? And I'm just very glad to sit here and watch that happen, you know what I mean? So I don't have a lot to say right at this moment, but I understand what you are going through because I'm a parent who has a child, and I'm just happy for you, man. I'm just very happy for you. Very happy for you and your family, and I know your parents are very happy because guess what? You're going to say them like 200,000 and some change. You feel me? And that means a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we just watched. So I know it's going to be like 200,000. The other kids was just 200,000. Another one was 200,000. So that's what, like 800,000 almost.
It's probably it's probably close to $1 million sitting in this room.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like, just
not more.
You think about that, and that's amazing. You know what I mean? I give mad props to the parents out there, man. Much respect to your family, man, for real.
And the biggest thing, Xavier is a student athlete. So Xavier, Isiah, Jada, all of these guys are student athletes first, and that's huge because
it takes a lot to do that.
It takes commitment. It takes for them to be brave because a lot of times, when I was growing up, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, I was messing up. So it wasn't cool to walk and go to class. The thing to do was to hang out in the hallways and run a hall. That's what all the cool guys was doing back, when I played. But right now, it's really, you guys have revolutionized the whole South Jersey. I see the young guys following you on Twitter and Instagram and how they look up to you guys, especially, like I said, to Isiah. And you guys made it cool. So the guys that are coming in the 8th grade, 9th grade, they're watching you guys, and they see you guys getting good grades, and you guys have made it cool. You're the fastest man on the planet in my eyes. You're a nightmare. Teams have one more season with you.
Yes, sir.
So what you've done this year was just a glimpse into what he's going to do throughout the whole next season.
Yeah.
So Wade, I know you in the back, but you got a whole nother year to game plan against this man. So just say to everybody the things that you do. I know you do as far as your week goes.
Yes,
outside of school and regular practice, I'm talking about the extra training and stuff like that you do. So kids that are going to watch this get a chance to hear what you do.
Weekly, I'm with NLG, so that's probably like priority of my week. Friday nights, 8 to 10, I'm with NLG. Sundays, I'm with NLG. Can't be watching a football game, so I'm definitely with NLG. But other than that, I'm always on Instagram and Twitter trying to find people to work out with, learning things from them, and they can learn things from me. So I feel like I'm on the field every day. Weight room, Thursday to Tuesday. So, that whole thing is just hard work. I feel like I got to be the hardest worker that I know. And I feel like that's the goal for me. Be the hardest worker that you know, because if anybody outworking you, then the outcome's going to show.
All right,
That's going to take you so far, bro.
Sir.
I'm telling you, man.
Keep
It's gonna
that
take you far.
mentality. Xavier, thank you for coming
Appreciate it.
to
Thank
the
you for
show,
having me.
man. We appreciate you.
Salute. Much
Everybody,
respect.
Xavier Coleman.
Is that Johnny over there?
Yeah, I think that's
Is that Johnny over there?
Yo, Johnny, what's up, man? Come on, man.
Come on, man. Get on up over here, man.
Come on, hey.
You know I ain't never on camera. Come on over here, man.
Hey, nah, man, you part of the show, brother. All right, this is Johnny Martin, the other host, coming straight from work, you know. His son is one of the best backs in the state of New Jersey as well, so you say that a little louder. All right, I think that one's on.
Just make sure I test it.
Yeah, that's one.
All right, cool. All right, so we're going to get to a couple guys right now. We're going to go, let's go down to Kenny Smith.
McKinney?
We're going to bring up Big Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny Smith, Camden High School, offensive lineman, center, tackle, guard. He plays it all on the offensive line. But we're bringing up Kenny. He's one of the unsung players, one of the inspirational players. If you guys, I'm sure you heard about what happened down, unfortunately, with the game in Pleasantville versus Camden. That was the moment where I knew we had to have Kenny. And I'll let Kenny get to that story, but I'm gonna give you guys a backstory. Kenny also played in the Battle of the Bridge. He was one of our captain linemen at the time. Kenny also came down to Florida for one of the All-American games, was one of the better offensive linemen there.
Room with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny and Johnny was in the room. They tore that room up, boy. They tore that room up. But Kenny, Kenny has a special story, you know what I mean? I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it's a special story as far as the transition. You missed a year of football.
Yeah.
Was doing some things that I was telling you shouldn't do. But it was a big thing that Kenny got back on track. He's now working.
Yeah.
Senior this year, so I'll let Kenny explain the story. Pleasantville at the game.
It was just a lot that happened. Me personally, I just had to feel as though when I got out the field, I just had to look for anybody that needed help. I can't say I'm this big man for what I did, or I don't really talk about it as much. Honestly, I don't go around talking about, oh, I did this, I did that. I just heard crying and I seen tears, and I just had to be there for somebody, because only person I got for me is my dad right there. Usually it's nobody else. So I want to thank you for pushing me in the right way, and my dad. Because usually, like you said, you made mistakes. I've made mistakes. So I just try to come back from it and be a good person.
And we all made mistakes, bro.
Yeah.
We all have.
So that's what makes this award show a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Kenny is one of the heroes in South Jersey. So all heroes don't wear capes. They don't wear spandex. So when Kenny speaks of it, he probably doesn't like talking about it, but
No hero. Not a hero.
man, listen, at
Hey,
times,
listen, bro, we going to give you your roses.
why you here?
You know what I'm saying? We're going to give you your roses, because check this out. You just inspired me. You said you was looking for somebody, all you know is you heard tears, and you wanted to make sure that somebody was protected. That's amazing. Like, for real talk, that's amazing. You can be on my team any day, and I ain't talking about no football, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm talking about just being a brother that I can have him, that I can hang around and talk to, because that takes a special type of person. Your father did an excellent job.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I
give
got
him a
to
round
give
of
you
applause.
some props on that. You know what I'm saying? The character of a man is amazing, man. It's amazing.
But Kenny found, didn't find, but he was looking to help somebody, and he wound up helping a little girl who was just kind of lost and just going through it at the moment. And he didn't even know who the little girl was. It wound up being one of his teammates' sister. So in the mayhem of everybody running on the field and all of that, this is a guy that kind of put his life out there at the time to help save this little girl and make sure that she was safe and in a place where, you know, she can later on find her family. So you say you ain't a hero, but I don't know.
If that was my daughter, he'd be a hero. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So we thank you
Thank you for having me.
No doubt, bro.
for that. But you're a senior this year, man. What do you have planned? What are you thinking about doing future-wise? What's your next step?
I'm applying for colleges. I work out when I'm not working. I love defense, but over the season I love playing offensive line. They started me off at guard, and I loved it because I got really a big body. I get to move linebackers, open holes for my running backs, and we were scoring off a lot of plays when they had me at guard. But we didn't have any centers, so I just moved wherever coach needed me to. And my idea was just to beat the best players. My boy Oliver know when they had 56 up against me, I was just trying to give him work every play because they kept saying he was a demon, and there's no demon in my eyes but me.
All right, man.
No, that's right. That's right. That's the competitive attitude right there. That's what I'm talking about.
But that's what I love about this platform and these kids getting to see and talk to each other. You met Oliver at the Battle of the Bridge, so prior to that, you probably really didn't know him all too well.
No.
So that's another way that you guys came together, know each other, and it's healthy competition, man.
Yeah.
So anything, Johnny?
Nah, good luck to you, man.
All right, man. Good luck, Kenny.
No doubt.
All right, Big Kenny Smith. Yo, man, we're going to have to take a break from these big dudes. They shaking the whole joint.
Hey, man, that's
Some
some
big
brothers
boys,
up in
man.
here, man.
Some big boys, man. Next up, we're going to bring up Mr. Ernest Howard from Pleasantville. Ernest Howard, man, he's a ball player. He's a flat-out stud. He's on his way to Sacred Heart University as well. He's
Big kid.
Yes, he is.
he's a big kid, man. We scrimmaged. How you doing, brother?
Congratulations.
How you doing, my man?
Strong handshake, too.
That's what I was about to say. He's stronger than
Strong
I thought.
handshake.
Grab that. Got my elbow hurt. But you know, Ernest played down at Mainland, transferred into Pleasantville, instantly became one of the captains, one of the leaders on the team. We scrimmaged Pleasantville too, and it was a really good scrimmage. But Ernest as well, we were going to invite you previously, but once that incident happened down at your game, and you kind of became the spokesman, the spokesperson, to lead the charge to get your team back together, to try to get them back right, to get ready for a game that you guys had to complete. Wind up switching your number, wearing number 10 for the game over at the Lincoln Financial Field. So your upbringing, man, it got to be strong. So I just want to ask you, what kind of got into you or made you feel like that was something that you wanted to do?
It wasn't really like a choice. It was like I had to step up type thing. So I just did it, and everybody was just behind me, for real. I didn't know what was going to happen going into it. It was just like a big thing.
But that's that foundation, man. Everything I'm noticing up here when these young men come up here, they all got good foundation. Strong foundation. Family values. You know what I'm saying? It's important. These young men, they really got it going on, man.
I mean, when I watched the interview after the game, I was blown away by how well you speak. Grade-wise, I know are you an early enrollee or
Nah.
you not early enrolled?
Nah, not early.
Okay. So you're finishing out your high school career. I'm sure you people are still looking up to you. I feel as though, I'm going to say it, I feel as though you're probably one of the most underrated players in our area. Watching you play, watching your highlights, I feel like you probably want to go to Sacred Heart with a chip on your shoulder too.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like you were one of the underrated guys in South Jersey?
I mean, I don't really try to think about it, for real. I just play, and whatever happens, happens. Like, it's all in God's control, so it ain't really my fault.
You just know he playing. You know what I mean?
He ready to strap it on right now, man. But again, man, you what you guys did, you kind of changed the culture at your high school. Previously, you guys weren't as kind of
You can say
Keep it a buck.
Yeah.
We're not going to be the show if we ain't going to be the show. You got to keep it a buck.
Yeah, but I'm trying to stay within the confines of the show.
Okay.
You know, you guys weren't as good. So what did you guys do or focus on to kind of change the culture at your school?
It was just off season. Like, everybody was just by then. Like, we was working out every day, literally, like, nonstop. And then, like, it was like the guys in front of me, like Elijah Glover, Muhammad Toure, Jabril Shakur, Samir Jones. They were like all in front of me, and then like I just took it from them, and then that's how this year really went.
Right. And I'm hearing like these guys are humble. They respect the people that are in front of them. Xavier spoke on it earlier about having to wait his turn to shine, and you just spoke on how you had to wait and wait your turn to get your shine. So in that, was it any point where it was like really difficult for you to like understand what was going on with those big names? You know, Muhammad Toure, I believe he's at Rutgers.
Yeah, he's at Rutgers.
And the other kid is at Villanova.
Yeah.
So, you know, those are some big name guys. And I'm sure you felt like you were a big name coming in. So how did you transition?
Well, in the off season, like, people was just like, they were just like all behind me, like always wanted to come to the weight room, work out with me. So like I just knew like I had the type of platform kinda, but I didn't know how it was gonna work out. And then it worked out, I guess. Yeah, it just took off by itself.
When you create it, they'll follow.
Yeah, they just followed me.
So Ernest, anything?
How big are you? How tall are you?
Johnny size.
Probably like 6 foot. Yeah.
He graduated. He can't, you know, he ain't got to pull that. You can't pull him over. But Ernest, man, appreciate it.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you, bro.
Pleasantville, Sacred Heart commit.
Sacred Heart was in the area, wasn't they? G Hill was down here recruiting, right?
Man, them
That's a
dudes,
big
man.
kid.
Jeez.
Them dudes, man. So
Big boys, man.
It's crazy. Hit the next one.
which one you can do this one? I'll give you the honors.
Oh, all right. I want to bring up a young man who I had the pleasure of I guess say mentoring or coaching, Marcus Young. Come on up, young man. Come on. Marcus goes to Winslow Township High School. He graduating this year. He's one of my favorite guys when I was coaching, and he was on my 7-on-7 team. That's when I first met him. That's when I first met him, and you know, I'm a big guy on character. I'm a big guy on character, and Marcus' character, it stood out from the jump. Just and he was what year was that? What's about 4 years ago almost?
Well, 7-on-7?
3 years ago.
Freshman year.
Yeah, so freshman year.
3-4 years ago.
He comes on out, and just the way he was handling the situations and how he would speak up, being a young man, and it's a lot more older guys or whatever on the team, how he would carry himself. It really stood out. I was like, wow, this boy right here is special. And then we come into the football season, and I'm sitting there watching how you interacting with him. I'm like, yo, man, this boy, he got it going on. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to let you know, man, I really appreciate you coming. You're a very good man. You're humble, respectful. I met your mother and your father. I know what kind of parents you have.
And I just want to give you your roses while you was here, you know, and you're a very intelligent young man, you know what I'm saying? So I always watched, even though I wasn't at Winslow, I always watched and I kept my eye.
Yeah, I
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like you keep mentioning up here about everybody who comes up here, about the foundation. It's all because of people like you, like my coaches, Coach Scott, my dad, my mom, my aunt, the foundation that these people instill in us in the values. Just turn out in everyday life.
Yeah,
Make you into a person.
Yeah. So what's your plans? What you going to do next?
Looking to play football, of course. I love playing football, but yeah, coaches come in, talk to me, but I'm still looking to further my education at a university somewhere.
Okay, all right. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Listen, you going to do that anyway. I already know where you at, bro.
Yes, sir.
Marcus also suffered a ACL.
No, I was torn ligament. In my ankle.
That was last year, right?
Yeah, junior year.
Okay.
So that rehab process, man, I know it takes a lot of focus to rehab and stay committed. So just take us through that process.
It was like basically rehabbing. If you come off an injury, you're just looking to get back, like no matter what. Like one of my coaches told me, and Coach Scott, you're always looking to revert back to what you did before, like how you got there to that point. So I was playing pretty good last year during the season, caught an interception, got hurt, and like you didn't want to accept the fact that you was going to be out away from the game. You looking to play because the next week we played Highland. That was the game I was looking forward to all season. I didn't get to play that. I played them this year. We fell short again, but yeah, it's just looking to get back on the field. Had that in your mind every day. You had to go to rehab, do all them little exercises. Like, it just sucked, but that's always in the back of my mind. Whole season had something to look forward to. That's what it was.
Yeah, but your leg is better, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no doubt. Yeah, thank God.
Academically, see, I'll be around on the internet. I'll be around. I'll be watching videos, man. I know what you are academically.
Yeah.
He's an Ivy League type of kid.
Yes.
I watched the video on you, and I was blown away because I know your older brother.
Right.
I remember you when you were a little younger, but I didn't see you grow up as much as Khalid did. But just seeing that, man, it kind of touched me a little bit. So education-wise, what's going on with you as far as school and your grades and all that stuff?
Like you said, you think I'm an Ivy League type of guy. I think I am too. So like that's what, even if I don't go on to play football anywhere, which I would love to, I'm still looking to get the best education I can because like the work I've put in the past 4 years, all my life, is straight A's, studying, hard work. I'm just looking for a reward for that. Looking to further my education, take it somewhere.
Oh, that award, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's definitely coming. You don't even have to worry about that. See, that's the thing about hard work is, you know, we working hard, and you're like, damn, when I'm gonna get my reward?
Right.
Then by the time you look back, you see all these things you done knocked down and accomplished. You're like, wow, I did all that. You know what I mean? So you just keep doing what you're supposed to do, and trust me, man. Trust me, it pays off. It definitely does.
I know it will.
It definitely will. So Marcus, man, from me, myself, Khalid, Johnny, we want to thank you. Continue to put forth the efforts of being a great young man, doing positive things in the community. People are watching. And that's the crazy part. Like, these unsung awards and awards that we're doing for special kids that we've been watching throughout the years. These are guys that typically award shows are based all on stats and things like that. We have some stat guys, but we have guys that are kind of moving the needle in a different type of way, and we wanted to make sure that we gave them the platform where they can come up, talk, speak, and get their flowers and roses while they're here. So once again, man, I want to say thank you. Much luck in the future.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you do, I know I'm going to be hearing about you in some other way, and it's going to be positive.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys.
No doubt.
Thank you for the platform.
All right.
It's Marcus Young from
Winslow
Township High School. Underrated player as well, man. That, you know.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, the boy's special, man.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of talent here in South Jersey. A lot of times, you get overlooked with that because your team may not have as much success, or you're playing a little tougher competition, so it's harder for you to kind of jump out the way that some other kids may jump out.
Yeah, and that was like one of the purposes of creating media for South Jersey. I was talking to some of the parents, and I was telling them about, like, when we would go out of town to different states, how, you know, you see media jumping up and down on these kids in these other states, and then we come back home and you may only have like one writer writing about 100 schools. And, you know, that's not fair to our children that's out here. So we were like, nah, let's create a media platform where, you know we going out to the games and we watching kids and we speaking to different high school coaches and stuff like that, where we can give these kids a platform to showcase their talent, to showcase their personality, you know what I mean? To give them a positive platform, you know what I mean? So, got to put on for our town, our area.
Right. Next guy, man, we want to go to Mr. Mike and Kona from Clearview High School. All right, let's welcome up Mike. Chill, Johnny. Knocked y'all out of the playoffs. See Johnny eyeballing you. What's up, man? How you feeling?
How you doing, Mike? How you doing, Mike? How you doing?
All right. You can pull the chair closer if you want, get comfortable. So Mike Ancona was Larry Rakes' player for this season. He came to one of the games and he watched you play. And he said, man, I don't know who that kid is. He said, but he was out there doing any and everything to try to help his team win.
Right.
So that's why we wanted to bring you up. Let me ask you, you're a senior this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your plans going into the future?
Well, right now I'm just visiting colleges, looking for somewhere to play, D3 level. So
That's pretty cool, man. Grade wise, everything straight?
yeah.
All right, so this is my first time meeting you. I know I watched you play, but it's my first time meeting you.
My first time too.
Nah, it ain't your first time.
What's your number?
9.
9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Johnny's a man of a few words, but that game, I believe it was the Millville game. He said that, it was a kid out there flying around, number 9. They move you from linebacker, outside, some safety.
Yeah.
That you're kind of a utility guy.
Right.
When we reached out, how did that make you feel, and what was you thinking like when we reached out to you?
I felt honored to be mentioned with all these guys up here. So, it felt good. I feel like I really earned something. So.
Because you did.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did. I mean, playing all over the field.
Yeah, because the first
I
thing
remember you now.
the first thing that Larry said when we was going over these awards, and we came down to the to our players that we personally wanted to pick, Larry was the first person actually. He was like, "Oh, I already know who I'm a pick on that." Like it just popped right on out right there, and he just started talking about you and all that kind of stuff, and it was like, "All right, that's what's up." You know what I mean? Like, well, we got to meet him. You know what I'm saying? So, but he spoke very highly of you, and if anybody who watches the show know Larry, know how Larry is. You know what I'm saying? So if he's speaking very big on you, that's pretty major. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna say something.
For you, man.
Thank you.
Johnny looking. So Johnny, Johnny Martin.
Yeah,
Dad, so
definitely.
he said he couldn't believe it that when they lost to Clearview. Remember that one?
Played a good game, man.
Yeah, it's
They,
good.
they tough team.
That's one thing I'll say about you, Mike. When I watch you, you're a hard-nosed, tough competitor. A lot of times those type of guys go unnoticed because, like you said, the guys that are in the room amongst us, like Jada Byers is a state holder as far as awards, touchdown record. We got another kid that we're going to bring up in Carsman that is going to probably break his brother's records. We have Fidel Diggs that was coming. He was another guy, but I think in high school football, a lot of times guys like you go unnoticed. but you guys are the heartbeat and the heart and soul of your teams. And sometimes your impact on the game may not be in a stat form. And what I mean by that is you can change the game in a blink of an eye by making the very simple play that nobody realizes is a big play. So that hard work and dedication that you've been putting in over the years, like what are some of the things that kind of like push you to work that hard, to have that mental toughness that you play with?
I would say my fellow teammates, we're all kind of the same way. I'm just the only one being honored, but they're all just like me, working hard. We just keep our head down and work hard. So, our coaches really push it on us to stay together. That's what we did all season throughout the weight room in the summer. So it kind of paid off.
Yeah, man.
Strong team, man.
They had a really strong team. They played tough.
Yeah, tough team.
Tough team. So,
Yeah.
anything?
Very humble, man. Humble and respectable. Good characteristics.
Thank you.
Good characteristics.
So, Mike, myself, other two gentlemen here, we want to say
Good luck to you, Mike.
good luck to you. In the future. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Anything we can do, we'll be more than welcome to help you.
Thank you.
So, thank you, man.
Thank you.
For playing hard, tough, hard-nosed guy. It's Mike and Kona from Clearview. Yeah, man. Yo, man, I'm feeling like I've never he's not here. I've never wanted to say it out loud, but I really feel like these kids are inspirational. Like
It's very inspirational. I'm telling you, I said that by the third one.
I wasn't going to say it, but it's like the kids that we're bringing up, man, it's character. These parents that are here, the families that are here representing the kids, bringing them out. Some of the backstories that you know about the kids, to see them get to this point, man. Some of them are seniors, some are juniors. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really amazing. So I'm gonna keep it going, man.
Keep it rolling.
Next guy we're gonna bring up. What did you say you was gonna call him at the game? You remember the foot?
I ain't say that.
That wasn't you.
No, that wasn't me.
Somebody said we was gonna start calling him foot.
I ain't never say that.
That wasn't you.
That ain't one of my jokes, no. That ain't one of my jokes.
All right,
but
man.
that boy Darshook can boot it.
All right, we're going to bring up one of probably, man, I'm going to go ahead and say it. We're going to bring up the best kicker in the state of New Jersey right now, Mr. Zak Colucci, Timber Creek High School. Zak's brother actually was a kicker and had the state record, right, for points. What's up, Zak?
How you doing, coach?
What's going on, Zach?
Zak would definitely beat his brother's record, I think.
Hopefully. That's the goal.
That's the goal. I think you will. So let me ask you, let everybody know, what was your longest field goal this year?
45 yards.
What? What game was that?
45 yards.
Against Highland. Highland.
Oh, okay. You must have missed that part.
I didn't miss the win.
Oh, here we go.
Don't start.
Yeah,
Don't
here we
start.
go.
Oh, man, where the coach? Where the OC at? Come on, Zak. So, Zak, 46 yards.
45.
45 yards, I'm sorry.
amazing.
45-yard field goal
That's
against
amazing.
Highland. You also hit another one against St. Joe's.
Yes, sir.
How long
That was a 44-yarder.
44-yarder.
Wow,
So you guys can imagine the consistency when you see a kid in high school kick 46 yards, 44 yards.
That's amazing.
Most teams don't even have a field goal kicker.
Yeah.
So when I was seeing that this year, I was high-fiving his dad. Man, his dad's probably one of the rowdiest guys. He's quiet right now.
Yeah, he's real quiet right now. You get him in the stands.
He's pointing to his wife, but I think it's you. So just the consistency that you were kicking these field goals at this year was amazing. 46 yards, pretty
45.
much. I'm at 45 and 44. I'm sorry, 45 and 44 is probably equivalent to a professional kicking in 55, 56?
Yeah, something like that.
60-yard field goal, right?
Yeah.
Like something like that. So
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
we knew like a lot of people don't recognize kickers. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So this probably the most love you're going to get.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So when you go to college and in the pros, you know, the kicker locker is over to the side.
Yeah,
and-
they're separate.
Yeah, it's
from
everybody else, right? But now you really changing the game. I first came across Zak Colucci at Gloucester Township.
Yes, sir.
Watching him kick the ball over the concession stand, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how's an 8th grade kid kicking the ball over the concession stand to the neighbor's house, to the people's houses?
Yes,
So what goes into your training? Like,
Yeah, I want to know.
we need to know. I might need to do a position change for mine.
It all starts with the coaching staff, and my brother, who previously was a kicker at Timber Creek, he's helped me a lot get to where I want to be, and also the coaching staff and everything that goes into the weight room. As soon as our season ends, we're right back in the weight room, getting ready for next season.
Where Rakes at, man? I wish I could. He keeps saying weight room. Rakes be talking about we ain't in a weight room. We in a weight. Say it again one more time. What start with? I'm sorry, I got to hear this again.
Right after the season ends, we're right back in the weight room, getting started for next season.
That's where it starts. Weight room.
Weight room. Yeah. Yep.
So, what are some of your goals that you're setting out going into your senior season coming up? So he has another season left. So, what are some of your goals?
Obviously, some records that my brother's set. Obviously, you want to always one-up your older brother. And also...
That's a fight you can win. My older brother over there, he used to beat me up until I got a little taller than him. Then, nah, he don't. But go ahead.
And also just want to win. That's pretty much... Everyone wants to win, but it all starts in the off season, just putting in the work.
Yeah. Didn't you, what was it, 100 points or something like that?
100th extra point this year.
All right.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow.
So that's what I'm telling y'all. We got state record holders in the room, man. And
man,
we got guys that are going to be
It's amazing, man.
the biggest. He's going to be the biggest thing in the house. You know what I'm saying? So when his brothers say, I was better than you, he going to say, no, you wasn't, right?
Yes, sir.
See, the little brothers is always better than the big brothers, right?
Yes, sir.
Crazy, yeah.
That's a shot at my brother, though. But so you're talking about winning championships and things like that. Also, Mr. Colucci is probably, now I'm gonna say it, he's one of the better baseball players in the state of New Jersey as well. Baseball, I saw some stuff where you were ranked.
Yes, sir. I go to like different showcases, and they rank players based on how they did, and I was ranked based on how I did at the camp.
Tell me,
like
rank.
all different camps.
Don't be modest right now. Tell
I'm
me
not.
where you
I'm
at.
not 100% sure of the exact rank, but somewhere in like the top, probably top 100 in the state, something like that.
So if you guys know, like baseball is a little different. So kids coming out as seniors, they can get drafted, things like that.
Yes,
So he's on the path for that as well as what he's doing as far as
Two-sport athlete.
football, two-sport athlete right here. What are some of your positions baseball-wise?
I play corner, infield, and pitcher, first, third, and pitcher, but mainly pitcher.
Oh,
That's what I'm hopefully going to college for.
Sheesh.
Maybe both sports. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you can kick and pitch.
Mhm.
If
It's like it's not as if I was playing catcher and quarterback or something like that.
Right.
It's easier.
all right, man.
Wow, congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
For real.
So
Good
Zak,
job over there.
Congratulations
Thank
on your season.
Thank you.
All right, much respect. Y'all better get his autograph now. So he's either going to be pitching in the World Series or kicking in the Super Bowl, right? All right, man. So,
Bring that line up, man.
man, how all them big dudes going to fit up
Bring
here?
that line up, man. Look, bring that line up, man.
All right, so this is what we going to do. We're going to bring up.
I'll move. If I got to move, I'll move out the way. Bring that line
We all
up,
going to
man.
have to move for all of them to get up here. So this is what we want to do. We're going to bring up Willingboro's offensive line. If we can get one of the talkers, the more talkative guy, up. We'll have him up, and then we'll have the other guys off to the side as our bodyguard. I definitely feel safe with these big dudes in here. So want to bring up Willingboro, state champions. Willingboro, they knocked off Pennsgrove, who had a 24-game winning streak. So, yeah, just come up this way. Any way you guys want to go. What's up? What's up, man?
What's going on? They got them championship rings sticking out there like, bang.
Yeah, it's last year.
What's going on?
These dudes big, man.
Hey, man, I know it's a lot of y'all.
What's up, Detroit? What's up? How you doing? Big Oliver. What's up, man?
I thought you were somebody's parent. He was walking around here, I thought he was somebody's parent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we got you want to introduce the guys you got with you?
All right, so I got Dejor Dixon, he's a junior. Deshaun Jackson, he's a senior. Isiah Cook, junior, and Chris Carr, junior. So, yeah.
Wow. So, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to this story.
Get to it, man.
I've known Oliver since 7th grade.
Yeah.
I've watched many of you guys play. DeJour, you already know. I know. You know what I mean? But Oliver, I watched play 8th grade year. I'm standing in the end zone. We're doing our recruiting to play Team New York. Oliver was an 8th grader with. So you can imagine what was going on at the hotel. We got all these big dudes. We got Kenny, Big Kenny. We got Oliver. We got Isiah Rakes. I was just in the end zone watching him just having fun laying on people. And he was laughing while he was doing it.
Which game was that?
They were playing GT Stallions. This was 8th grade spring league. And they had Clement. They had some other guys on that team as well. But
Xavier was actually on the team.
Xavier Coleman was on that team as well. And I was just sitting there. I was like, yo, this dude is laughing while he's laying on dudes.
Are y'all catching the trend, though?
Big guys, man.
You catching the trend with all these kids that's out here?
What's the trend?
What's the trend, buddy?
They're all networking from a young age to now. You know what I mean? So in order to, I don't want to say in order to be successful, you got to do what these brothers is doing, but in a sense, I'm kind of like saying that they're all together. They all know each other from one part of South Jersey or another, you know what I'm saying, with this football thing, you know what I mean? It all brings everybody together, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like any sport, though.
So the other story, me and you witnessed it.
Oh, yeah.
What y'all witnessed?
When they ran down on Timber Creek.
Oh, man, I was going to say our team. I wasn't going to say the team name.
Well, I'm not trying to be smart. I'm just keeping it fun.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man, so that scrimmage game, it was a scrimmage but set up in a game at certain points. I knew, I've been telling everybody all season, I said, bro, Willingboro line is ridiculous. And we would get into fights, arguments, everything in groups and Facebook, all over the place. I sat down with my son, and I told him this in a ride home. I said, listen. I said, I turned the music down. I said, you better tell your boys tomorrow they better come with their hard hat or they going to get ran off the field. After the game, I had told before they played, I told a couple of his teammates too. After the game, they looked at me and they was like, you was right. You was right. They was out there mauling cats, and that fun laying on cats started with Oliver, DeJour, Deshaun Jackson, man. Everybody probably think you faster than what you are, right? They always say that. You pretty quick.
Yeah, I like the bragging that.
So when you walked out, I tapped Khalid in the stands. I said, look at his calves, right? So he has the biggest calves I've probably ever seen in my life, man. And this is on a high school age kid, this line. You guys did work. During the season, leading up to the season, you probably guys had a bad taste in your mouth for what happened before.
Oh, yeah.
So what was some of the focus going into the season?
The focus going into the season was pretty much, getting back to where we're supposed to do and, we were supposed to win that game last year, so we was like, we gotta go back and win it. Like we can't come up short.
Well, it clearly showed.
Yeah.
It clearly showed when y'all was in that championship game.
Man, I was out there having fun. I was doing what y'all wanted to do.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the other team, but y'all was out there.
I was just about to say
They was out there like disrespectful.
Yeah, because it was coming up on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, and they were saying, "Oh, we're gonna go 26-0," and we just had to show them who we was and what we was about. So that's what we pretty much did.
It's not too many offensive linemen in line that you see. When I watch the game from a different view. So, like, if you go back and watch some of their games, some of their highlights, you click on their highlights, anybody from Willingboro, you'll see these guys running down the field 15, 20, 25 yards down the field, escorting their running backs or receivers to the end zone. And that's something that's not, like, common, you know. So what is it about you guys that feel like, you know, I'm going to move more than 5 yards and get up the field?
Coach Will, most definitely. He like, even in practice, he'd be like, run. I don't trust them. They'll fumble and they'll turn over and all that stuff. And it actually happened at Rutgers, so we was like, you know, we definitely had to run after the ball and all that stuff every play. So
that's something that's being taught by your coaches.
Yes.
That's a really good trait, because when you're watching a film, that's one of the first things that jump out to me.
These boys is humongous, man.
Johnny, you can't take none of the juniors. Johnny just eyeballing them like, hey, what was I telling them? Was I telling them he's huge?
Huge, man.
Some
Big boys.
some big boys, man.
Yeah,
So
Rick was an advocate for y'all all season. He was an advocate for y'all all season about how impressive the line was. It's very good to see when I started getting information about your team, and how y'all all kind of like been together, you know, since Little League or something like that. Like, that team has been a team that's been together, and that says a lot. You know, that helps with the cohesiveness and all that kind of stuff. So, and the reward is a championship. Right. You know what I mean? So that's real big, man. I respect that.
I don't know if those rings gonna fit any of their fingers.
Nah, look at, he got his on his pinky.
Nah, that's his other. No. That's a championship one.
Oh yeah. Well, nah, them rings ain't gonna fit.
We'll still take them, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Get that hardware.
Add to the collection. But.
All right, so the two seniors. What's next for you guys? I think I'm not going to get into it, but what's next for you guys?
Playing football for West Point. That's the next thing for me.
West Point?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I didn't know that one. That one slipped past me.
Military school?
Playing football somewhere.
Somewhere?
Yeah.
I know you got schools that you're talking to.
West Virginia or Dell State, East Stroudsburg.
Those are, all of those are good schools, man. So, again, you guys are setting yourselves up for a great future. Continue to grind hard in season and in the off season, in the classroom, in the community. I don't know if you guys know it, but you guys are bringing Willingboro back. Willingboro used to be a staple as far as athletes. That was the first stop that many college coaches went to actually look for players. Previous to you guys getting there, what you guys been doing the last 2 to 3 years, teams wouldn't go to Willingboro as much. So what you guys are doing is not only setting up a future for you guys, but it's setting up the future for the guys that's going to follow you guys. So just keep it up, man. Keep up the good work. Keep being respectful. You know what I mean? My wife loves Oliver Lilly. I remember when we first walked in, she absolutely loves you. So much respect to you guys, man, and keep it going. That's the sleeper. I saw you getting out the car, and I was mad. I wanted to get him down to our school, but it ain't gonna happen.
They got a good thing going on up there, man.
I was gonna bust him. You know what I mean? I was gonna try to do something.
Well, it didn't work. So
it definitely ain't work. But much respect to you guys, man. We wanted to recognize you guys as a complete line, because offensively, the things that Demi Sumo and Chris Long and Alshon were able to do, it doesn't happen without you guys. If you don't know, Chris Long was also invited, but Chris Long is the state holder for receiving yards in the state of New Jersey. So when it comes to passing and catching the ball, it starts right up front with the offensive line. So much respect to you guys, man.
Thank you.
No doubt, folks. I'm gonna just give y'all just some that, so you gotta reach all the way over. Let me get a
That's a sleeper, man. That's another sleeper.
Kids is big, man. But they be feeding them.
I'm glad I got a 160-pound kid at my house.
Sheesh.
There's no way I would be able to feed them.
Breakfast, lunch, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack,
Pre-snack.
snack, dinner, snack again. 7 times a day they eat.
Oh man, some big boys, man. Sheesh. So I was trying to see if what's his name was here because I wanted him to speak on behalf of somebody else, but I'm trying to look around the room. Oh yeah, he here. All right, so we're gonna go down the line. We're gonna get to. Did we forget anybody else is here? Some of the kids had basketball. They was going to come in. I'm trying to make sure. Let's go to Carsman.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy's amazing.
All right, so we're going to bring up Devon Carsman, quarterback, Woodrow Wilson High School. Devon Carsman, passing yards are ridiculous. He's another kid that's probably going to shatter his brother's records and have fun doing it. What's going on?
Congratulations.
You can have a seat, man. How you doing? You grow every time I see you. You're getting taller. I remember when you was a little short dude, long hair, and had a grandpa body. You know what I mean? But now you're starting to shape up into a good-looking athlete. So you can bring the mic so they can hear you. But again, Devon, you were close to breaking a record this year. Fell a little short, but 3,700 passing yards. So 3,700 passing yards for Devon Carsman. I think they had you had Fidel had 1,000 yards.
2,000 yard receivers.
Not Kevin. Malik Harvey had 1,000 yards. You guys had Muhim Cargo. Just loaded. Just loaded. But what I'm gonna ask you, like I asked some of the kids, what are some of the things that coming into the season that you wanted to prove coming into the season?
I just wanted to prove, that that I was just good enough to lead our team to the state championship again because my brother the year before won the championship, so I wanted to just try to win one too to make a name for myself and stuff like that.
Wow. Congratulations on that chip too.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So being a younger brother, I know I'm gonna allow this answer. Being a younger brother, is that kind of pushing you a little bit to one up him?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, because we talk all the time. Who's better, this and that. So I just like to prove myself.
All right, man.
That's a good motivation factor, though.
It definitely is. I mean, now growing up in their household, great family. Your mom and dad are out at the bowl game to support your brother and his team, Western Michigan. I didn't see if they won, but I saw it was a close game.
Nah, they lost.
They wound up losing.
Yeah.
But following in those footsteps with your brother, the training, the preparation, how much of what you were able to witness prior to you getting to high school, and also it's a two-part question: what you witnessed prior to getting to high school, and then what you witnessed last year, being a part of the state championship team but not playing. How did that kind of prepare you for what you came into the season to do?
Well, it prepared me a lot because, I saw, the work that had to be put in order to do, what he did. So, I just, followed in his footsteps, put the same work in as he did, and he he pushed me a lot, you know, to like work out and just like I just did whatever he did. So and it worked out for me, you know, because we had a good season.
Great season.
Yeah, you had 2,000-yard receivers. Like, where they do that at?
And I think I think Muheem had like what 700 or
something like that.
600 or 700 receiving.
Like, oh.
So, I mean, you're talking about close to almost 3 dudes with 1,000 yards. So he's spreading the ball around.
That say something about your IQ. You know what I mean? The intelligence.
So as a part of your training, like what do you do to get prepared season to season?
You know, just working on like whatever I need to work on, you know, work out with quarterback coach and stuff. So we're just, you know, trying to put in work to, you know, prepare me for the season and just fix whatever needs to be fixed so I can be sharp for the season and just, you know, win games.
Right. One of the things going into or finishing this season, what do you feel like you need to get better at going into next season, which will be your junior year? He's your sophomore. He's a sophomore, so he has 2 more years in high school.
It's going to be a nightmare for somebody.
You could just imagine what's going to happen in the next 2 years. It's going to be a nightmare for somebody. But what did you find that you needed to work on going in, you know, preparing for next season?
You know, just probably, you know, reading defenses and getting our team in a better place, you know, making checks and, you know, just recognizing the defense to put our team in a better position to score the ball.
Wow. That's crazy.
Nothing.
Nah, I'm just sitting here listening. I'm still shocked about the 3,700 daggone yards.
Yeah, so 37 this year. Next year, what's the record? What's the goal?
Well, the goal every season is, you know, just make sure we win the championship, you know. The records really don't, you know, really matter. They just come, so.
I was trying to set you up, man. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. I was trying to set him up. You know what I mean? But now we want to thank you, appreciate you for coming. Spoke to your mom, which, you know, she don't check her Facebook as much as she normally does, but that we do. But I want to say congratulations to you, your team on your season. Much success will follow you in the future. And again, man, thank you and congratulations on everything that you accomplished, man.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Devon Cars, man. So a lot taller, right? Yeah. He got bigger. So we're gonna go to Mr. Shawn Moore Collins. We're gonna bring him up. Come on, Shawn Moore. Mr. Shawn Moore. Call him angry man. But he's starting to mature, man. He's plays for Millville High School. He's also a Sacred Heart commit. We're bringing him up. What's up, Shawn Moore?
What's up?
Man, what's going on, man?
It's supposed to.
That's what's up. So another young man comes from a good family background. We're bringing you up. You had the play of the year. It was against Clearview, I think it was. Wasn't it against Clearview? So it was like catch a little flip pass to the side, take it, break it back. So if you guys haven't seen that play, you gotta
go look at his highlight.
Look at his highlight tape. You'll see that play. So going into the season, I'm gonna ask you like everybody else, man. What were some of your goals?
It was really just to beat Shawnee and win a championship. But that ain't happening.
Yeah, man. So going into the season, beat Shawnee, win a championship. You guys fell a little short. But in the journey to doing that, what are some of the things that you learned about yourself and about your teammates this season?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Man, well, look, when after you had made that play in the game, you know, what was going through your mind at that time?
That we was going to win.
Oh, all right, that's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I think on your interview, what did you say in your interview? Go on. I can't remember.
It was shot at Shawn Moore, I think.
Yeah. That's exactly what he did. Do it. It was a nice little shot at him. How do you I'm gonna let you go ahead and ask that next question because I'm gonna wait. Go ahead.
All right. So that play was one that kind of like was your staple play. I know your older brother played at it's another a young brother too. Your older brother played at St. Augustine's prep. I believe at one point held the state record for interceptions. So that dynamic of coming into the season, wanting to kind of put a staple down, letting everybody know you were here, was that a motivating factor for you to come in and have a success? I feel like you had a successful season this year. Was that one of the motivating factors so you can like kind of keep that name going, that Collins name going?
Yeah, because after my junior year, I wasn't really known, so I was just trying to play, like trying to make a bigger name for myself, try to put myself out there.
Right. Yeah. What are you going to college for? What position?
DN.
Gonna be a nightmare for somebody. You play with a different type of chip too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we had an opportunity to watch him play too, and I think he almost decapitated our running back at one point. That was probably that was one of them plays. I don't know if you remember that play when you came.
Remember.
You remember? He don't like to talk much. He's normally not smiling. You're normally mad. I remember in Virginia, I walked over to you and was like, "Man, start having fun." You know what I mean? But I'm watching you grow. I'm watching you mature, and those are some of the things that I noticed, and that's one of the reasons that it went into picking you as far as one of the players of the season as a whole, having one of the biggest and best plays of the season. We wanted to make sure that we got an opportunity to honor you and make sure that you knew that we are watching, because we're just the show is called From the Stands. We're just some dads in the stands.
Watch the sport.
We watch the sport, and we've been around the sport for a very long time. So we want to make sure that we gave you your roses, man. So congratulations on the season. I know you're a man of few words until you get riled up. So I'm gonna let you go ahead. But some more, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man.
Congratulations. Trying to see if I know that's over there. All right, so we're gonna go to one of the coaches. You want to go to the coaches?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. Where's the back? Right over there. So we're gonna bring up Coach Preston Brown, if we can, Mr. Preston Brown, state championship coach, Woodrow Wilson High School. It's not many times you can go back, man. You could go back home and win a state championship at a school that you coached at, played at. Press, what's up, man?
What's going on? What's going on?
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Our other guys, man, you know, Johnny's here, but Rakes got stuck at work. He can't. They was trying to jam him up, but I know he wanted to be here for this one. But
Oh yeah.
he's getting ready to go to Texas next week or whatever with his son. So, but Preston, man, congratulations on your season.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man.
It's a heck of a season. Hell of a season, man. Hell of a season.
You guys probably had probably one of.
What's going on, man? How's everything?
You guys probably had one of those seasons where it was like, up and down to start, but once you guys got settled in, you guys start clicking on all cylinders. Coming into the season, I asked the players, what are some of the things that you wanted to accomplish as a coach for your team?
I mean, well, since I became a coach, it was only one goal, and that's to win championships. In order to really set yourself apart and people really remember you, you have to win on the big stage. So, again, I won a championship at Woodrow Wilson in 2001, which was the only championship in school history. And so when I got the job, I told the kids I want you to have that same feeling that I had, back in 2001. So it wasn't easy taking over a program that only won 6 games in 3 years. We had 32 players that year. That senior class went 0-10 as freshmen, and they made it to the playoffs their senior year. We had a 6-2 regular season. And, we lost in the first round the first 2 years, and then the last 3 years in a row we made it to the championship game, winning the last two. And we had a 1-point loss to Delsey 3 years ago.
I was at that game.
Yeah.
That's some hard work. That's a major accomplishment.
Well, that takes a lot of commitment from the players. One of the things that, to change that type of culture within a program was a commitment level. So, some of the things that you had to do to get them to buy in, like what are some of those things, and how difficult was it to get them to buy in?
I mean, well, I always tell the guys, when you're in love, nothing else matters. So I'm in love with transforming the lives of young people, and kids can see that energy. Mm-hmm. So I bring my 100% effort every single day. I tell the guys, I'm going to push you to greatness or you're going to quit, but there's no in between. Uh-huh. And so, we lost guys along the way because they didn't want to be as good as their mouth said they wanted to. And, I still love those dudes the same way, but it's a consistent commitment every single day, from myself, from the parents, from the teachers, the staff, at the school, and then, the kids. So, the kids, they see that same commitment each and every day. I keep my kids around. I got one of my sons with me here today. Just because they have to see, what parenting looks like, how hard it is, the sacrifices the coaches have to make, being away from their families. Yeah. And, you got junior days coming up, soon as signing day is over. And it's a tough process for a lot of kids, Mm-hmm. And, everybody sees what happens when you have kids going to, major Division I schools. But, there's a lot of other kids we have on the team, like busting their hump, doing a lot of different things, a lot of Division II schools, a lot of Division III schools, kids getting a lot of academic scholarships. Since I've been a coach, we've had 50 kids graduate in the top 10.
Mm. Oh, you're doing a damn good job, bro.
Nah, man.
You're doing a good job.
Nah, that's huge. That is huge. Some of you guys may not know, but Preston also played down at Tulane, and I remember watching Preston. I didn't know you personally, like we never met previous, but I remember watching you because I'm from Mississippi area, so I would see you popping up on my friends' timeline from Gulf Coast, Mississippi, Jackson, and things like that, and I'm like, this kid from I gotta know who he is. So at the time I was I hate to say it, but I was a part of probably the worst coaching staff in Woodrow Wilson history. That year, I was mad I was even a part of that staff. When I went in and was committed the first week, I said, man, we in trouble. Just looking around at, like, the commitment level from the different
So Preston
coaches.
had to come and clean up y'all mess.
Nah, that wasn't me.
I'm just saying.
After that season, I was out of there. But, but just seeing you come back and your impact on the community as a whole, not only in the city you're from,
right.
And what I mean by community is the football community. What goes into I know you said something earlier, but I wanted to see if it's the same thing. But what are some of the things that made you say, you know what, I'm gonna take it from just this place to touching the community as a whole?
Well, my grandma, she was a Haitian immigrant. She was a crossing guard for 30 years on a third grade education. Everybody kind of gravitated to her right there on the corner of Martin Pike and Thorndike. So, I grew up out East Camden, and, I guess those roots were always ingrained in me, from as long as I can remember. Even when I was a student at Tulane, I had got an emergency sub-cert to teach math at Lusher Middle School. I was teaching math and science at 18 and 19 years old because they had a shortage of, male teachers. Mm-hmm. So me and some of my teammates, that's what we did. We got a part of it. So I have been working in education since I got to college. And, I was a student during Hurricane Katrina. And then when I came back home, I just realized everybody was doing the same thing, like the exact same thing. And I was like, there will never be transformation here kids will never, because growing up they always say, you know, hey, make it go as far as you can and never come back. That's why I chose Tulane. I was forced back because the apartment I lived in was trashed. It was gone. You know, I had nothing, so I had to come back home. And, you know, when I graduated, you know, I went to the Jets rookie camp. You know, I was let go. And then I went to, I was with the Buffalo Bills on a practice squad for a little bit. 2009, 2010, I played in the UFL. And I remember talking to Wes Chandler, who was my coach. And, you know, because I never wanted to be a football coach ever. I was like, Wes, man, I had tears in my eyes. I was like, look, man, I have no idea what I'm going to do. Like, I have absolutely no idea. I was that kid that put every egg in a basket saying that I'm going to the NFL, and that's it. And, I mean, I graduated salutatorian in high school. You know, I had a 3.7 at Tulane. I got 2 degrees, but none of that was in my plans of thinking. Like, I'm going to the league. You know, like, that's it. Yeah. And Wes was like, look, man, take what I taught you and go back home and teach some high school receivers. You know, get some guys. So I was just working out at the park, and I used to see kids, you know, just doing drills, and they were just doing them wrong. And so it was just something in me that just was walking over, like telling kids, like, look, man, you need to do it like this. Change that. You know, you false step in every play. And kids, before I know it, every day I was at the park working out, you know, this dude would bring 4 more dudes. And I'm like, yo, man, like, just bring like $2 with you so we can just get water.
Right.
So I was stopping at Walmart getting 2 cases of water. It'd be like 18 kids showing up at the old Camden High field, you know, before they got the turf. I originally wanted to apply for the Woodrow Wilson job before Thomas Tepe got it. But I didn't get it. I didn't even get an interview. So Coach Savage at Camden High, who coached me in high school, he said, look, I just got the job at Camden High. I'll bring you on. You could coach the receivers. I was like, all right, cool. I had no idea what it took to be a high school coach at all. So just going through the process, I knew then that I really wasn't ready to be a head coach when I was an assistant. Yeah. I knew then, but I had wrote the plan out on what I wanted to do as a head coach when I was still a player. Right. But I wasn't ready to execute it until.
But that's that hustler's mentality, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm gonna get it by any means, so I'm gonna go for it. And some people get it and then realize at that moment that they shouldn't have got it. But you know, things worked out for you where you was able to go in, kind of learn under some people, and kind of figure out the way that you wanted to take your program, and the success is right there in front of our eyes. I mean,
I'm
2,
glad
3
he came
years
back.
later, it's right there. And I gotta say, man, what you've done in the whole community, football wise, is just remarkable. From your original ties to Great U that you started, and where that's taken off and where you guys are now has just been remarkable.
Thank you, man. You know, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to just be around, you know, just from my upbringing, what my mom instilled in me, you know, what my grandmother instilled in me, and, you know, even the genes that I inherited from my father allowed me to be, you know, a great athlete. You know, my dad was on the 1976 Camden High championship team, you know, as a freshman. So my brother and I won in 2001, and then he coaches with me, so we won the last 2 in Camden as well. So, you know, I'm greatly appreciative of that. And, you know, make no mistake about it, the development that the players and the hard work that they put in, both in the classroom and on the football field, because, you know, football is a privilege. And I tell every family of every kid that these universities are institutions of higher learning first. So, you know, we strive, you know, it's my greatest aspiration to have a team full of 4.0 students, whether they become great athletes, great on the football field or not. But to me, like, that's the greatest accomplishment that I could ever, like, have is, like, a team full of kids with straight A's. Because I know that if you're getting straight A's, you're not doing nothing, you know, stupid off the field. And, you know, the football part will come easy. That's what they love to do anyway. So we make them earn it, you know, all the time. Like, you got to earn your right on the field. So we're Tigers, so we say each day you got to come and earn your stripes. I don't know if it's the black ones or the orange ones, but, you know, I got to earn mine every day too. So, you know, if the offense doesn't do well or somebody doesn't do well, like, I run sprints instead of the kids. You know what I mean? So they know that I'm committed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that says a whole lot. That says a whole lot right there. I'm glad you came back. You're impacting lives and mentoring, coaching, you're changing lives. You know what I'm saying? So that plays a real big part, you know what I mean, in your community. You're affecting hundreds of people, you know what I'm saying, whether they realize it or not. And I'm proud to sit here and talk to you. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm glad to be here.
Hear that.
You know, I've been watching you guys. I mean, it's an interesting thing, you know, how you guys approach to the game. Mm-hmm. You know, starting your own podcast, publication, just put a different spin and perspective on it, you know. And we just got to support each other as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's just we're trying to put a different spin to it. We have other things that are going to come down the line. This award show was our first one. We have other ideas that we're going to try to build onto what we're doing right now. So this grassroots, it got to start somewhere. So we're just excited that we had so many young athletes come. I know me and Khalid earlier was like, yo, like, we actually got kids here. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what it's about.
For sure.
You know, this platform, I know Big Oliver had texted me a couple times like, yo, the offensive lineman watched the show. Y'all got us cracking up. Like, those are different type of shows, but today we wanted to make sure that we honor coaches, players, you know, and even the parents that are here with the respect that they deserve and earn. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. I mean, again, I've been a part of, you know, something that's special going on at Woodrow Wilson, but it's what I planned to do. Like, it's not an accident. Like, I literally set this plan out, and the kids can feel the energy. You know, the parents can feel the energy. You know, we had 3 rules: grind hard, no excuses, and never forget rules 1 and 2.
And that's why you got the success that you have.
That's it. So Preston also coaches. He coaches Woodrow Wilson, but coach basketball.
Yeah, I coached mid-distance and track. I mean, I was a 3-sport star.
Why you laugh at the basketball?
Because it's tough because 90% of my team plays football. So if you play football to the last weekend,
you know what's
and
going
then
happen.
5 days later you have your first scrimmage. You know, football and basketball shape is a little different. So
Yeah. Preston also has Fidel Diggs, which is the Gatorade Player of the Year. Woodrow Wilson High School now has 2 great Gatorade Athletes of the Year, which I think is the most in the state. Just talk about some of the athletes that you have: Fidel Diggs, the Malik Harveys, the Muhim Cargo. All these guys are Division I athletes. Cardsman, we had him up, but you know, these guys are Division I athletes and are special type players, but they don't get there without a coach like you and their commitment to the grind. But just speak, if you can. I know Fidel had some things he had to take care of before he tried to early enroll.
Well, I can speak to each one of them. You know, I know every single thing about every kid on my team, from the first year freshman to the kid that played the very first year. And that's just something that I do that, you know, like I can hear dudes walk, talk, and laugh, and I know exactly who said the joke and why it happened. So, you know, I'll start with Malik Harvey. We call him Turk. He didn't play football as a freshman. He actually didn't start school his freshman year until like mid-October. You know, they had originally dropped him off the roll. He didn't come to school. For whatever reason, you know, he had a lot of stuff going on. So I actually saw him in gym class, like doing backflips off the gate, like in the spring. And I was like, who is this kid, man? Like, and then he was just running on the field, like throwing the ball. He was left-handed, threw the ball like 50 yards. So I walked up to him and I said, look, man, you could be a Division I football player, man. He was like, no, I can't. I was like, trust me. Yes, you can. I said, look, if you can stand still and do a backflip, I know we could teach you to backpedal and do some other things. So, we got him to run track a little bit freshman year. He was doing the hurdles, 400 intermediate hurdles. First time out, he ran like a 57, just running, jumping over the hurdles. I was like, man, this kid's he's a great athlete. Sophomore year, came out, did a little bit of he was our JV quarterback. He's like, man, I ain't on varsity, man. I ain't going to come out. I was like, man, it's a process. You can't just jump out there in a varsity game. Some people think it's just so easy because, you might have been like a star, in the youth level. So sophomore year, just a little JV guy. But, he still had problems. I still taught him when I checked his grades, he was busting honor roll. So I'm like, hold up. This cat missing school days, but he busting honor roll. Like, I'm missing something here. So I started doing a little more, just wrapping my arm around him, keeping him close, like actually going to get him at ninth period before school was over and taking him to the weight room when we were starting.
Sometimes you got to do that.
He couldn't. And, when you start seeing the camaraderie of the other guys and you just stick around long enough with the right stuff, even junior year, he played a little bit. Nobody really considered him a star or anything. We won the championship. Like, he didn't even show up to our game at MetLife. He missed the bus. Seriously, like, we was halfway there, and he got to the school and was like, where y'all at? I was like, wait, what? So he missed the bus. And then it came to the spring, and I was like, listen, man, I'm going to take you to a couple of camps. We went to the Rutgers camp. And the head coach from NIU was like, man, who's this kid? Man, he's like one of the best dudes here. I'm like, yeah, I know. And so he saw it at that moment where, like, schools was really taking a liking to him. And he really just started elevating his, his training.
Seen that belief.
Academically, too. He really started going from, like, a middle-of-the-road BC guy to, like, an AB dude, like, nonstop. Because now, so I need to qualify to make sure that I can, take my SATs and get that, minimum requirement to get, sign that scholarship.
That goes into probably why people feel like he's one of the most underrated players in South Jersey area. He's talking about a kid that had 1,000 yards receiving and had 7 interceptions. 7 interceptions is a
19
lot
touchdowns.
For a high boy. 19 touchdowns, right.
Balling in that championship game, too.
He just was doing what he was a man amongst boys out there.
Balling.
So that is huge for a kid to realize his potential and capitalize on it.
Definitely. I had Devon, I had Nick, two extremely, intelligent guys that just, they're not really rah-rah kind of dudes, but, they lead by example by always, being first, and when your level of play dictates more than your words, then the rest of the team just kind of like follow suit. So, that's huge. And obviously, funny story, when Devon was a freshman, like one day before one of the games, he looked like he was moping, and I was like, man, what's wrong? He's like, man, I hate game day right now, man. I was like, why? He's like, cuz, Nick's on verge of breaking a record. I'm never getting in. So I was like, man, go ahead, like, take his job then, beat him out. And so, like, he was working hard in practice trying to beat him out, making great throws. And then, like, Nick just, like, kept elevating, a little more. And, we was in some games where, Nick was already at, like, 300-plus yards passing. And I was like, all right, I'm going to put Devon in. He's like, nah. He's like, nah. He's like, I'm a senior coach. Like, oh, I'm not coming out.
My little brother going to have to wait, huh? Pulling that move on.
So I think Devon, never forgot that, coming into the season. So Devon actually threw more touchdowns than Nick did in a single season. So
That's very exciting, though, how you can pull, because you have a team that's very talented, how you can pull all that talent together and execute. Sometimes that's hard for coaches to do when they have a lot of talent, you know what I mean? But you are doing it, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, Muhim and Fidel, they came in together. they was two highly rated, 8th grade kids coming out of the youth level. They're probably two of the best kids I've ever coached, ever been around. Just their commitment, like each and every day over a 4-year process. I mean, they've been to 3 straight championships. They won 2. Muhim has like close to 400 tackles in his career. Neither one of them really played as a freshman. I mean, they played a little bit. I mean, Muhim was a JV quarterback. He was the JV quarterback freshman year. And, that's just commitment to the team. All right, look, JV, you guys need some extra work. You freshmen, but man, I'm a varsity guy. All right, yeah, sure, okay, JV, you're gonna play quarterback. This guy's gonna, you're gonna play receiver, tight end, whatever we need you to do, because if we don't have a strength coach, I still got to run the weight room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we don't have a kicking coach, but Malik Harvey was our kicker. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you got to do what you got to do to sacrifice for the win. So those two guys, they'll always be joined at the hip together because of what they've been able to do from the time they came in. And they got a little love-hate relationship with each other. They get mad about this one get mad about that.
That's what brothers do.
But they look over on the field, like, yo, man, when you make this play, man, I'm like, all right, well, which one of y'all want to make it?
Yeah.
So it's been a good problem to have over the past couple of years.
So Malik Harvey's on his way to Northern Illinois. Fidel is on his way to Texas A&M. Muhim is on his way to Temple.
Yes.
Dashi is on his way to Temple.
Dashi's going to Temple.
Am I missing somebody? Oh, I'll go back and say you had two kids that went to
Milford
Academy, and Miles Frazier, he's on his way to FIU, and
Naeem
Simmons is going to Wagner.
Yeah.
Darn, boy, putting them out there, saving parents a whole lot of money.
Hey, listen, man, my mom never made more than $10 an hour. My whole life, she ain't paid for college for me or neither of my brothers. So I told every parent, I want y'all to experience what my mom was able to experience. We've had kids who had a 3.8, 3.9, and HBCUs gave them 90% tuition covered, and football gave them 10%, but they're not paying any money.
Yeah, right. Because at the end of the day, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? You want to help your family.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
So you just said something about HBCUs. That route is I think underused by a lot of people in our area. What's some of the things that are out there for the HBCUs, like you just spoke about the scholarships and different things like that?
For one, if you're like an African American student, if you have over a 3.5 and 1,000 on the test, if you do the Common App, most schools are going to give you their presidential scholarship to go to the school. You almost get full tuition paid academically. That's just for starters with 3.5 and 1,000. Now, if the football team likes you or the basketball team, they may give you 10 grand. It may only cost 18 or 25. I think for Jersey, we don't have any HBCUs, so we're not really connected as much. Our kids know Lincoln, Cheney, Dell State, Morgan State. And then, some parents consider out-of-state tuition costs, plus, distance of travel. A lot of kids, they don't really know that they don't want to go far until they actually go and experience it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's huge, man.
That's what's up, man. Preston, I'm proud of you, man. I'm
Thank you,
happy
man.
for you.
Yeah, you're doing some great things over there.
Appreciate it, man. I really
Definitely
appreciate it.
changing lives.
Yeah, I know you watch the show, and we be on we be on some of the coaches and everything, but I'm glad that you came, man, because it shows that you have a sense of humor and you understand what dudes in the stands really be talking the way we talk on the show. So I know it's probably funny.
Yeah, my kids play for Sterling Youth, and so I sit in the bleachers sometimes. It's brutal. I usually sit by myself because I'm a coach, so I don't really say anything because I know how it feels, like people, call the right play, you're a genius. You call the wrong play, you're the worst ever. I get it, I understand. But I think the moms got the dads beat, though, in the stands.
Oh, man.
On a youth level, especially.
Okay, on the youth level.
I haven't sat in the bleachers. I don't go to high school games.
The moms in them bleachers in them high school games be just as wild.
I'm just saying, me personally, I don't go to high school games.
Right.
And if I do, you'd never know that I'm there. I'll just check because it's
wild.
Everybody's a coach. Everybody knows that this coach is stupid. They call the wrong play. You need to do this. You need to do that.
Hey, what they say, the parents want to be the coach want to be the ref. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
They got some dope student sections out there. I'm still working on our student section. Yeah. Hopefully we get some lights soon. We get the people up early enough, man. We got them to change our 11 o'clock games to 1, so that helped us out a little bit. But
get some fans there, man. That early game is
they don't get there till halftime, man. I keep challenging them every year, man. Trying to do free hot dogs and pretzels at 12.
Trying to get them to the game on time. Oh, man.
Trying to use some ingenuity, man.
You might have to up that to...
If you say Chick-fil-A sandwiches, you're going to go broke because they're going to all show up. Somebody got paid for them.
Like $8 a sandwich.
Right.
Chick-fil-A. Yeah, man, Preston, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you roll, man.
Appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you coming. It really shows that what we're doing is kind of touching, different coaches, different people in different ways. We're going to continue to do what we're doing and broaden this platform that we have. You as a coach, I respect everything that you're doing. I know I've had conversations with you about some other stuff as far as different kids and just a lot of different stuff, and it's always been good conversation. It's always been like a mutual respect. I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for touching South Jersey community, not just in Camden City, the whole community, because a lot of kids are recipients of what you're doing for everybody. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, listen, I appreciate it, man. Y'all make sure y'all keep it going.
Definitely, definitely.
Y'all get some big-time sponsors coming up, man, and again, you got to start somewhere, so this right here is great. You guys doing a wonderful thing, and I truly appreciate it, too, because, you guys are all a little bit older than me, and, we've had different conversations. I remember this summer you was at, alongside when I was over there as a substitute teacher. So, again, I can say that I have, great affection for, young people and just seeing them, grow. I'm not the kind of person that I don't write anybody off. If this kid's the worst person in the world, that's the kid I want right there, that guy, because I always say the story 5 years from now for you is going to be amazing. You know what I mean? Because
I remember, I'm laughing in my head because I remember we had Shawn Moore up here. I remember some conversations with you and him back and forth on the field doing 7-on-7 and different type of workouts, and to see where he is, it's right where you're talking about, you know what I mean, along that lines of not writing kids off. Because I just knew, I'm like, yo, this dude is wild, man. But he's matured and is a great young man and earned, some scholarship money.
Definitely, man. Sometimes passion is misunderstood, and kids don't really know how to express it because they're so passionate about what they want. I was a kid like that, I would lash out all the time, so somebody had to cultivate my mind in order for me to use football as an avenue to express my hurts and pains, but not do it in other ways. So, Shawn Moore, he was a great kid. He was very passionate, And, at the time, 7-on-7 is a different flavor than regular football, but it gives you the nuances of the game in terms of, route running, seeing routes, being able to throw timing and stuff. And, if you like me, I hate losing too, you know what I mean? So in some of those losses, you can see all the hurt and pain on somebody's face, and then people always want to be like, yo, you okay, bro? No.
Especially not right after the game.
Like, no.
We just lost. Yeah.
But no, I definitely appreciate you guys having me, man. You know, keep up the good work. And
Thank you.
Look forward to see how this thing grow from here.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I think that's it, man.
That's
We
it.
want to go ahead and wrap up this show. I appreciate everybody for coming out. We're going to continue to grow this platform. Once again, thank you guys for coming out. And take some candy, water, drinks, if it's any left. Appreciate you guys.
Peace.